Oh, God, I gotta do this bullshit. Oh, God. Okay. Ah. Hey, everyone. And of course, the first time I decide to show my face onto this camera, I get a pimple that I can't pop. Like, I'm just gonna call it a beauty spot and call it a day. So this was recorded about a month ago, and I still have this beauty spot. Clear still my ass. Hey guys, it's your favorite, Editing Addaboy. Originally this video was gonna be a games I played in January type video, very similar in the style of Raz. Go check him out on his main channel if you haven't already. But the longer the video got postponed, the more restricted I felt in making it. What you're about to see here were my first impressions hopping into Mario Galaxy, but I promise I've got a lot more to say now that I've played even more since this recording. I may be hopping in periodically depending on what comes out of past Addaboy's stupid mouth, but let's jump back into it. So this might be a little bit unorthodox to what I normally put on this channel. I wanted to try something a little bit different, as well as something to get me kind of out of my comfort zone, to better understand like where I want to, or what type of content I want to make. And yeah, I'm going to leave that in. And another big reason why I did this a little bit differently, as you may notice, I don't inherently have a Wii capture card. Now, you might be wondering, AddaboyShankle, what are you talking about? This looks high quality, high definition. How did you do that? Well, my good old friend, just like how any other person with no money or technical know-how in order to do this, I pointed my phone at the screen. This is the recorded gameplay from a screen. You could probably see Addaboy, shadow Addaboy over here if your eyes are keen enough, but we're gonna ignore that. That's for you little Easter eggers. And I don't know if I can say that. We're gonna skip next. So now that we're here, Mario Galaxy. It is a game. It's a game that I'm still trying to figure out what my full relationship with it is. I've played about, I would say maybe 20-ish% of it, so I'm nowhere near done or complete, but I'm trying to get as many stars as I can, go through the ROMs as much as I can, but I don't know, I have such a weird relationship with this game. My relationship with Mario Galaxy is kind of an iffy one, I would say. I don't have any history with Mario Galaxy in the slightest. I did not grow up with it. It was not something... I had a Wii growing up. I don't know why I pointed to the screen as if this is the Wii. This isn't a Wii. As I said, it's my phone recording the screen. I never grew up with Mario Galaxy at all. Everyone would talk about it, but I never saw it. I never had seen anyone play it back in the day. I didn't even know what they were talking about. I never saw it in stores whenever we went, because it wasn't what I was looking for. I had no idea it existed. It was this big looming game in the Mario franchise that it just left me. And this game... okay, well, that seems a little biased right there. I'm talking bad about it right as I died. That was definitely my fault. When it comes to this game, I can't fully put my finger on it as to what I like and don't like about it. Maybe it's just because I'm still in the middle of playing it, so I'm not fully sure about what my opinions are. Maybe they'll start to fully form by the time I actually complete it. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the Wii and the Wii controller of playing it. I'm not the biggest fan of the gyro atmosphere, if that makes sense. The circular worlds and like the gravitational pull. I love the concept of it. And again, maybe it's because of how limited the Wii remote and nunchuck are as a controller, but it has felt incredibly unprecise to me. And maybe it's different playing the 3D All-Stars on the Switch, but I wanted to get the raw base game experience on the Wii, and man, it's control-wise, there are some places that are absolutely phenomenal. There's a couple stages that utilize more gimmicky movements with the controller, and to me, I think some of those are some of the best that they've had. Very creative. There's one that will probably show up later in the clips if we get to it, where you are in a bubble and it's a top-down screen and you use your pointer to like blow the bubble in a way. I don't know what people's opinions are on that level, but as a concept and a level, I actually very much enjoyed that. It was something fresh and new and something that got me into a place where I was like, oh, so the Wii like is purposeful here. You know, this is something that could only be played on the Wii and or with some type of motion control aspect. It was fun, it was enjoyable, it was that gimmicky Nintendo flair that I really enjoyed. Other points of it, just again, like this gyro type of thing. I loved this boss fight. This boss fight was so incredibly creative, but I don't know what it is. This kind of geometrical or spherical space is just not something that really pertains to my platformer brain. I just find it really hard to get a lot of precision-based jumps in the platforming. Maybe, again, my brain needs to get more used to it because it's just something that is so vastly different than other games in the franchise. One that I will personally say that this game is absolutely phenomenal for. Not only, again, the cutscenes are beautiful, the music is so stellar. The music and the art. I mean, just look at that in the totally HD quality that you can tell. The art is just so good. It's so colorful. I love how the art looks and how it pops. The graphical style for the Wii is incredibly impressive. There are just some things that don't really stick out to me a lot. And maybe it's my lack of skill, but it just feels almost like ice physics when he's starting up, and that is probably my other biggest complaint. Not the ice physics specifically, but what makes it like ice physics is that there is no run button. And I don't know if this is a big detriment for a lot of people, but for me, as someone that has gotten incredibly used to platformers, especially in a Mario franchise, because almost every single Mario game has a run button in some way, shape, or form. And I know this feels very nitpicky, but it helps me figure out the momentum. And I think that's where I'm at, is that I need to figure out what Galaxy's momentum is, rather than going off of past titles or even titles after this one. And I feel like I'm giving it an unfair shot, but for one of the games that I played in this year, it's something that I still want to work on. I know it is highly, highly upheld as one of the greatest 3D Mario platformers of all time. Platformers in general, but I don't know. I'm still figuring my place out, so if you guys are going to try to ream me in the comments for it, don't worry, I can take it. I can take it. Yeah, here's the bubble level that I was talking about. I do think that my appreciation for this game will probably be more fulfilled as I continue playing.
Oh, how right you are, old chum. You see this man? This is an unwise man. Don't listen to him. I'm grown now. I have more experience under my belt. I know to unbuckle my pants before I start peeing. Him and I are not the same. Now that ADHD rambling is finished, let's actually get into my thoughts about this game. Ever since I originally recorded this video, I did feel I was doing this game a disservice by not talking about it more in depth. I figured a small, unscripted ramble of my first impressions would do the job, but the longer I sat with it, and the more that I played, I felt I needed to make amends for my past mistakes. I do feel this original recording is valuable, even if the intention was for a different style of video, but I think it's a good lesson that opinions and tastes are very nuanced and ever-changing. One moment you love a movie, and then the second time you watch it you hate it. One moment you get hyper-fixated on a hobby and then drop it a week later. And one moment you eat Pop-Tarts every single morning of your childhood that the thought of even looking at a cookies and cream one gets you sick to your core. The point I'm getting at is that I know the first portion of this video might steer a lot of people in a direction, all because I didn't inherently vibe with the game on my initial playthrough. I came back here to snuff these allegations and to clear my name as the uncultured Nintendo hater that I was. I still don't think Galaxy is the greatest Mario platformer. There, I said it. I said it. I said it. Okay, wait. Before you edit your comment again calling me an uncultured swine, I will say that this game is a lot better than my initial thoughts made it to be. I now actively enjoy playing it. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and as I suspected, all it took was just getting more used to it and diving deeper into the gameplay. To start off on the positives, as past Addaboy already addressed, the music and art and colors stand out and are top tier amongst the industry of its time. Hell, even comparing it to today's standards, it has a lot of whimsy and creative flair that helps it stand strong with its competitors. When I got to Gusty garden and heard that iconic orchestral theme, I got chills. That is a definitive mark within gaming history. I also personally really enjoy the varying level designs for each star path. It's such a smart way to make multiple levels out of one stage theme without anything feeling old or getting repetitive. Speaking on levels, the comet levels. They didn't inherently grip me when I first started playing it in the early game, but I think that was just because my brain was more focused on completing the game rather than enjoying it. But now that I've played more of them, they're some of my favorite inclusions. They remind me of the time trials in the Crash Bandicoot series, adding an extra challenge or spice to pre-existing levels, making it more unique and encouraging further replay value. I really love the story and relationship with Rosalina and Luma. I haven't gotten to the full end by the time of recording this video, so I can't make a full comment about my thoughts of what I think of the story, but having their story be displayed on this story time with Rosalina aspect, it feels super cozy. It makes me want to make some hot chocolate, get myself wrapped in a blanket and sit by the fire. I love every second of it. And this might be controversial for me to say, but I kind of like the linear aspect of this game. To me, for the limitations that the Wii Remote and Nunchuck have, it makes sense that Galaxy isn't as free or open as Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey. While I know the argument is that the linear aspect simplifies the game, I feel this is a perfect execution for a major title on the Wii, especially with how globally popular the Wii became. Everyone had a Wii, so it made sense to simplify the game so that more people can dive into gaming. Mario's whole identity represents welcoming people into the gaming space. The fact that Mario Galaxy was a lot of people's first introduction to the platforming genre and possibly gaming in general, it says a lot about its staying power. While I personally may not have Galaxy at the top of my games of all time list, it definitely deserves to be remembered among the best. And while I do poke fun at my older self, I do still think that the few nitpicks he listed do have some presence that need to be addressed. Firstly, the egregious run button fiasco. As I suspected in my initial thoughts, the more I played, the better understanding I had over the momentum presented. However, I'm still not the biggest fan of it. I didn't explain it deeply in my original video, but why the lack of a run button got me was that whenever Mario runs in Galaxy, he has this slow startup where he runs in place for a split second and then will start gaining momentum the longer you move. With the run button, you'd be able to gain top speed instantaneously. At least that's what past Addaboy was thinking. Now, one of my favorite Nintendo platformers, Mario Odyssey, also doesn't have a run button. However, in Odyssey's case, Mario's base startup run doesn't kill any jump momentum, and in any case, it encourages the use of Odyssey's other movement methods, such as the roll and the long jump, making everything buttery smooth. With all that being said, I do find myself getting used to the momentum of Galaxy now. I more so think the problem for me in Galaxy's case had more to do with the lack of camera controls, as there can be some points in the game that are incredibly frustrating to understand with the camera getting stuck or causing the direction you're moving in to always shift. The easiest example that I can think of would be other games with a fixed camera, like the original Resident Evils or Devil May Cry. A lot of people can get frustrated when they enter a room on their right, and then the camera shifts perspectives and makes the direction that they're currently going in now left, so causing the character to start moving in a different direction.
These camera angles hurt my eyes.
Yeah, no, one of the hardest bosses in Devil May Cry 1 is the camera, because it actively fights you and is not the greatest at all times.
Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that while I'm getting used to the momentum of the game, the precision of the platforming is still not my strong suit. The restrictions with the camera controls I feel are a detriment to the game and get held back by the Wii's controller limitations. Another nitpick, why is the jump button also the interact button? I can't tell you how many times I go to talk to a Toad or a Luma and end up just Michael B. Jordaning on their ass. Yes, I know that's the actor. The C button is right there. All it does, to my understanding, is just recenter the camera, which, as stated before, doesn't do much for a game with a fixed camera. And for my final nitpick, to knit this tightly in a bow, why does the game not save my 1-ups? I know that the game isn't inherently difficult or super challenging, but if you're not gonna save them, then why do you allow me to buy them with the star bits? These colorful suckers buy levels, dog! I wanna see that bloated Luma transform, not throw my precious star bits away. And no, dear viewer, there is no defense for this. The same studio that interrupts games constantly, asking and telling you to, oh, take a break, it'll be so great, you just take a break. Here, they bend me over and punish me for not devoting every single minute of every day stuck to this thing. My last play session, I collected 24 1-ups. Now, I'm down to 4. You're on my hit list, Nintendo. Just for clarification, this is all a joke. I love and respect everyone equally. This is for the funny ha-has. Please don't kill me. With all that being said, I'm happy I decided to take more time and dive further into the game. I hope this review doesn't come across as super negative, especially with that earlier portion. As I stated earlier in this video, I wanted this to show that opinions can change. Just because Mario Galaxy may still not be my #1 Mario platformer, Nintendo platformer in general, I'm glad I gave it a better shot, and now I'm actively enjoying playing it. Sometimes you just need to push yourself to get to this point. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think I feel comfortable ending the video here. I hope I did this game better justice than I initially would have if I stopped after attempting to make the previous video idea. The main reason why I wanted to make the games I played in January video in the first place was to help encourage myself to stick to a schedule, and to be more involved and productive in my YouTube channel. I want to create things for you guys to see. I want to make entertaining videos that people can go back to and have a laugh, or maybe get some insight on a game they had no knowledge about. I also want to help push other people to create something for themselves. Creativity is what makes humanity thrive. After my tome video, I've wanted to produce more content for you guys to see, but with everything going on in my personal life, it's easy for me to push it to the side. No matter what, everything personal-wise will take precedence over attempting to build my channel, but it also shouldn't be an excuse to not create. I have a few videos in the works now, and while I'm not going to make any promises on when they're coming out, just know that I am working on them when I can. Please be patient. I will be back hopefully sooner rather than later. I'll have past Addaboy outro me out.
But I hope that this kind of worked out. This is a little different than what I'm used to. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this segment of the video. I did not expect to have to do this so soon. I expected my anonymity to continue flourishing, but who doesn't love another white guy in front of a camera? It's just how it works. Just how it works.